In a corner of the city that time forgot, nestled between glass towers and bustling cafes, stands my little bookstore, The Final Chapter. It's a place of dusty shelves and forgotten stories, a sanctuary for words. But the true soul of this shop isn't bound in leather or printed on paper. It arrived on a night of thunder and rain, a tiny, drenched creature of midnight fur and eyes like twin amber moons. He has no name but the one I gave him, Shadow. Before he came, this shop was just a business, a collection of books. But now, it is a place of quiet magic. Shadow is no ordinary cat. He is the guardian of this place, the silent keeper of lost words and whispered secrets. He moves with a grace that seems to bend the very shadows around him, his presence a quiet hum beneath the rustle of turning pages. He never meows for food, it simply appears. He never asks for the door to be opened. He is merely on the other side when you look. I've watched him for years, and I've come to understand his purpose. He is a librarian of the heart. People don't just wander into the final chapter. They are led here when they need something more than just a book. I remember a young woman, her eyes hollowed by grief after losing her mother. She browsed aimlessly for an hour, a ghost among the shelves. Shadow, who had been watching from his perch atop a stack of encyclopedias, uncurled himself. He flowed down the shelves like a drop of ink, wound himself around her ankles, and with a soft meow, led her to a dim, forgotten corner. There, tucked away, was a slim volume of poetry about loss and healing. She sank to the floor, read a single page, and for the first time since she walked in, she wept. Not tears of sorrow, but of release. She left that day with the book and a small, almost imperceptible smile. She still visits, every year on the same day, and always brings a small toy for Shadow. Then there was the university student, frantic and on the verge of quitting his thesis. He was surrounded by a mountain of books, his face a mask of despair. "It's no use," he muttered. "The one source I need is impossible to find." Just then, Shadow made a daring leap to a high shelf, chasing a moth only he could see. A heavy, leather-bound tome, a book that hadn't been touched in 50 years, tumbled down, landing open on the floor right at the student's feet. The student stared, his eyes widening in disbelief. It was the very book he had been searching for, containing a footnote that would become the cornerstone of his entire thesis. A coincidence, he called it. I just smiled and gave Shadow a knowing wink. And what about the artist who had lost her inspiration? She would come in and just stare at the art books, her own sketchbook empty and accusing. For weeks, she found nothing. Shadow ignored her completely, which was unusual for him. One afternoon, she gave up and sat defeated in an old armchair. Shadow chose that exact moment to leap into her lap, but in his mouth, he carried something. A single, vibrant crimson leaf that had blown in from the street. He dropped it onto her blank page. The stark red against the white paper was so simple, yet so profound. The artist stared at it, then at Shadow, and slowly, she picked up her pencil. A new chapter of her creative life began, all thanks to a single leaf delivered by a cat. Shadow's magic is subtle. He never finds the book you think you're looking for. He finds the book your soul needs. He is the curator of serendipity, the master of the fortunate accident. But even magical places are not immune to the relentless march of progress. A notice arrived one day, cold and clinical. A developer had bought the block. My little sanctuary of stories was to be demolished to make way for luxury apartments. The community, the very people Shadow had guided over the years, were heartbroken. The woman who found solace in poetry, the student who finished his thesis, the artist who painted again, they all came. They protested, they signed petitions, but the gears of the city were already turning. On the final week, the developer himself, a Mr. Sterling, came to inspect the property. He was a man in a sharp suit, his face a mask of impatience. He saw only dust, decay, and wasted space. He scoffed at the old books and the winding shelves. "This place is a fire hazard," he declared, his voice echoing in the quiet shop. "It's a relic. Time to make way for the future." As he turned to leave, Shadow appeared before him, blocking his path. The cat didn't hiss or run. He simply sat, his amber eyes fixed on the man with an unnerving intelligence. Sterling tried to step around him, but Shadow moved, always in his way. Annoyed, the developer finally stopped. "What is it with this cat?" he grumbled. Then, Shadow turned and walked slowly, deliberately, towards the children's section, a place Mr. Sterling hadn't even glanced at. With a flick of his tail, he indicated a small, worn-out picture book on a low shelf. The man hesitated, but something in the cat's unwavering gaze held him. With a sigh, he bent down and picked up the book. His breath caught in his throat. The cover was faded, the corners soft with age. It was his own childhood favorite, a book his mother used to read to him every night, a book he thought was lost to time after she passed away. He sank to the floor, just as the grieving woman had, and turned the faded pages. The sharp lines of his face softened. The coldness in his eyes melted away, replaced by a long-forgotten warmth. He remembered the safety of his mother's arms, the sound of her voice, the magic of a shared story. The next day, the demolition order was canceled. Mr. Sterling didn't build his glass tower. Instead, he invested in restoring the entire block, preserving its history, with the final chapter as its protected, beating heart. He even funded a small reading program for local children, posted in the very section where Shadow had led him. No one knew the real reason why he changed his mind. They called it a miracle, a sudden change of heart. But I know, it wasn't a miracle. It was Shadow. He is more than a cat. He is a reminder that the right story, at the right time, can change a life, or even save a small piece of the world. He is the silent, wise master of this magical place, and I am simply the humble keeper of his door. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more tales from the quiet corners of the world. Thanks for watching.